Welcome to the Chaotic Tea Party, where your host Chell
and Annette tackle questions or topics that vary from the insane
to the mundane. Please be advised that this podcast has an explicit rating.
It will contain adult language and content that some listeners may find offensive.
With that in mind, if you still think this is your cup of tea,
welcome to our Chaotic Tea Party,
where nothing makes sense, but the tea is strong
and the biscuits are plentiful.
Season 3. Okay, so we're back, and we are still doing Season 3, which is the season of Emma.
It is the season of the Emma. I got to work out a song. It was a rock one. That was a bit different that time, but all Emma, all season long. Meow, bow, 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 bow.
Well, you've got 5 episodes left, so
I'm going to come out with a full Emma opera by the end of this ad. Musical extravaganza.
And fully embracing the mundane to the insane, she's come up with What's Your Opinion on Fate? Oof. Yeah, indeed. So this is a hard one. So I had a bit of a thing about the 3 fates, always have, which is your spinner, your allotter, and your inevitable.
So these are the is this from like the Greek or Roman mythology?
Yeah, so the Greeks and the Romans both had a version of the same thing.
Okay.
So the spinner spins the thread of life onto her spindle, and then you've got the allotter or the drawer, and she is the person with a measuring rod.
Okay.
And kind of works out your direction and where your thread is weaved. And then you've got the inevitable or the unturning. They've got various names depending on which genre you're looking at. And she was the cutter of the thread. So there's 3 women is how they're depicted.
Yeah.
And she was the cutter of the thread. So she chose the manner of each person's death and when their time was to come. And she literally just cut the thread. She was also known as the dead one in the Roman equivalent to the Greek.
Yeah.
So yeah, it depends on what angle you want to take these at. So I've got that fascination with those. That was kind of because that ties in with the mother maiden crone as well.
Yeah.
But the dictionary definition, which I thought was a pretty good starting point for us, if I may, Annette.
Of course, go ahead.
The dictionary definition of fate is the development of events outside a person's control, regarded as predetermined by a supernatural power.
Do you know that sent me cold? It's that whole idea of not being able to control something. I am a complete control freak in life.
Yeah.
So once you take that power out of my hands, I freak out.
Yeah.
This is why I don't do roller coasters and things like that. It's like, no, if I can't physically stop this when I want it to, I'm not going on it.
If I haven't got the brake pedal, it's a no.
Exactly. I want to go descend slowly.
First gear.
But it's having that taken. I openly admit I am a control freak about myself. And the idea of someone else or something else having that power over me is utterly terrifying.
Well, I mean, it leads you, that kind of leads you to the fate and destiny, are they intertwined? And destiny always makes me think of the Sandman graphic novels.
Yes.
You know, where destiny is depicted as a cloaked and hooded figure chained to this book.
Yeah.
The Book of Destiny. And again, it's more being tied in and pinned in and imprisoned and trapped, isn't it? You know, like it's...
Yeah, like there's nothing you can do. It's set in stone. This is what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, and I don't know, because there's an element of there's consequences to every decision that we make in life. And surely the decisions that we make alter the path that we're on. And it kind of, to me, if there is a thing such as fate and destiny and your end games are predetermined,
Yeah.
it kind of makes the whole journey fruitless, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I hate to quote a terrible movie, but it's kind of like the sliding doors thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the fact that you think she's going down this, like you think she's made the right choice by missing this train or getting on the train. Yeah, but she ultimately she ultimately dies, doesn't she? Even though she goes through all
Yeah.
this terrible thing on the one side, this she's having this wonderful life, but she dies prematurely. And then this other one, she has this terrible time, but then finds happiness eventually. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, yes, there may be certain things in your life that are set in stone, but it's all in how you, I suppose, approach them, and then work it to your side. Yeah,
Yeah, and the external factors as well, because other people's decisions will impact the path that you're on, whether you want them to or not.
yeah,
A primary example is a drunk driver.
yeah,
A drunk driver comes out of nowhere and pushes someone off the road. How could you possibly have foreseen that? You're sticking to the speed limit. You're driving on the route correctly in a safe and appropriate manner, and then someone just appears out of nowhere and pushes you off the road.
yeah.
That's nothing that you could have controlled.
No. Oh God, this is dark. I'm so depressed.
It's
The only inevitability is death, isn't it? And
yes,
it's, if you spend all your time, I'm talking to myself here. If you spend all your time worrying about how it could happen, you're not going to enjoy
the moment.
the moments that it's not happened and it's not happening right now. So make the most of your journey to that inevitable end. Make the most of it.
Yeah, but on the flip side, can you truly appreciate happiness and joy unless you've known despair and
Well, yeah.
heartache?
I mean, oh God. I mean, but that's
Thanks, Emma.
yeah. I mean, that's what makes people, that makes life far more interesting. You need to have, everything can't be picture perfect rosy all the time. You can't hide people from the reality of what the world is
Mm,
really like. But at the same point, make sure you're showing them there's two sides to it.
yeah, I mean, for me, rather than fate or destiny, I think we are caught up in just a chaotic web of circumstances. You may or may not end up crossing paths with someone by pure chance or pure circumstance and get caught up in something, or
Yeah,
you may go another route and it turns out wonderfully. I don't think that. I think there is accountability for the decisions that we make.
yeah,
There's always a consequence for every choice in life.
yeah.
But I do think that there are lots and lots of occasions where you just have to play with the cards that you've got as an outcome of those.
Mm.
I would, to quote Dorothy Parker, I've never been a millionaire, but I know I'd be a darling at it. You made me, you know, you made me a millionaire, my life would be extremely different
Yeah.
from what it is now. But I can't live that life and do the things I would do as a millionaire because I'm not a millionaire.
Mhm.
So I'm tied in by, the chance of the class that we were born into,
Yep.
the fact that we're women,
Mhm.
the generation that we are, that all those things are a contributing factor for society. We still don't have equal pay everywhere.
No.
Oh, you're starting off my feminist thing now. Oh, better not go down that rabbit hole.
Oh God, no, we'll be here all day. Flippin' hell.
So, yeah, I don't believe in destiny or fate. In that we're tied in. I think that we have to just play with the cards that we have, which come out of a deck based on our choices.
Yeah.
Um, and the choices of those around us can fuck us over and affect us,
Yeah.
that are completely out of our control. But that is chance. That just is because you woke up late, or you decided actually. So back to decisions. You decided actually I'm not going to go out for breakfast at McDonald's. I'm going to go for lunch instead. And then no, you're
Yeah.
exposed to the people that are there at lunchtime, and that's a consequence of decision rather than a pre-populated plan.
Yeah. I mean, have you had any experiences where, like, well, I'll say, for example, when it comes to me and Andy, we've had, like, I don't know, I suppose we would call it maybe more coincidences. There seems to have been in the past areas that have connected us, kind
Yeah,
of, that we
yeah,
could have possibly have crossed paths earlier.
yeah,
Like, for instance, I don't know if you went on the school trip to Belgium,
yeah. I did.
and that same summer, Andy went to Belgium with his family on holiday.
Yeah,
They were in the
yeah,
same areas that we had been in. They had
mm,
gone around those same places that we'd seen that very same year.
yeah,
Weird. There's my sister once lived in the north in
yeah,
a little village. I don't know if it was him or my roommate who was his friend who I met him through, has stayed there as well.
Yeah.
This teeny tiny, teeny village that nobody goes to. It's like a hamlet.
Mm.
It's just a square.
Yeah.
So these things where I know it's a bit out there, but it just felt really weird that there's these moments where we kind of could have crossed paths
Yes.
if it just a matter of a couple of months or days or whatever, or we could have met. It's the fact we could have met earlier, but it's not. We ended up meeting through my flatmate at the
Mm.
time, and even then, I wasn't really paying attention to him because there was a big crowd of them,
Yeah.
and then we just connected bizarrely. We'd come back from drinking. Again, drinking. That's all she does is drink. But we'd had a night out. Everyone's kind of blotto, and I wanted to watch a movie, and he was just happy to watch anything with me. And we ended up watching Frankenstein, weirdly enough.
Way.
And he says, I hate all black and white horror movies, but I watched it because you wanted to watch it, so.
Excellent.
But and then and that was it. And then so it all comes back to bloody Frankenstein, doesn't it? Everything.
I love Frankenstein.
But yeah, so and that's when it kind of happened. And then I didn't see him then for like 6 months, and it was New Year's, and I'd been with on the phone with you,
Yeah.
and there was somebody that I had met the previous year when I'd been out with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so but I was also talking
Dickhead.
I was also talking to this DJ
Yeah.
who I've been trying to graft a little bit. But it was him, and then you told me that this guy, oh, you might want to come up. He's out with us. So there was this opportunity that I could have worked on this guy. I could have gone up to you, but I didn't. I went home for some bizarre
Yeah.
reason. No, I was going to go home, and and then I'm calling up my flatmate just to say Happy New Year, and he says, oh, I got something to. I was going to pass you around the phone to
Mm.
Brian, and he'll say Happy New Year.
Yeah.
That's one of their mates. And I'm talking to him, and he goes, "Oh, and here's Andy."
Mm.
And we were on the phone then for the rest of the, he didn't give the phone back to Michael. We were talking for hours, and that was it then. So then and that was it. We didn't stop speaking.
Yeah.
And then he came up at the end of January for a visit, and it was just sparks are flying. I think it was within 3 visits, we both had already said we loved each other. And
Wow.
by the end of the year, we were I was moved. I'd gone back down to London. I wasn't happy. Too far away from him. Couldn't see him every weekend.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving in with him and his parents by the end of the year.
Mm.
And we were engaged near enough not long after.
Fucking hell.
It's crazy, isn't it? So like that night was like a proper. That was
Moment.
I could have easily like carried on with that guy. I could have come up to yours,
Yeah.
but I just no, I'm gonna go home
Mm.
and just call my mate and just say Happy New Year. And 2 people passed around later, and it's Andy, and it's the person I end up spending the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Yeah. So what was that fate? Was that your destiny?
Or just coinky dink, you know?
Oh, just quinky dink. Yeah.
But I like the idea of it.
Yeah. Or perhaps fate only touches the few.
Well, there we go. As long as it touches me nicely.
Touches you nicely. But perhaps that because there's a lot of coincidence in what you've just described to easily dismiss.
Yeah.
So perhaps fate only touches the few.
Oh, I think we should leave it there. I quite like
I
that.
think that's a pretty good ending. Yeah.
I like that. Emma, you took us to places on that one.
So yeah, Annette believes in fate, and it's led her to the love of her life,
Yeah.
who I will say I approve of, and is the man. And I don't like the idea of being penned in and someone telling me what to do.
Well, I'm with you on that one too, though, to be fair. Like, if I have power of control of roller coasters, it's a different story, but,
Yeah. Well, cool. So we're undecided then. We're split down the middle. Annette believes in fate. I believe in chance.
There we go. I like to think there's a little touch of both in us. Maybe just a teensy bit.
Teensy bit. Teensy bit. I'll go with that, Annette. I'll agree with you on that one. So Emma's next question is, which will be the next episode, is would you rather be able to copy and paste or undo in real life?
Oh, yeah, I look forward to that one.
Cool. All right then. Well, we shall catch you all later, and we'll see you at the next episode.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye. It's a big world out there, with plenty for us to ramble on about. But we'd like to hear from you, especially if there's a topic or question we haven't covered that you'd like us to. So please get in touch. We're available via email at chaoticteapartypodcast@gmail.com, Twitter at Chaotic Tea Party, and Facebook and Instagram at Chaotic Tea Party Podcast. And don't forget to rate and subscribe to your podcast listening app of choice. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll join us again. Speak soon!